Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is me, Kyle Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful night? Greetings, my brother G1. Glad to see you here tonight. Greetings, family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. This is night after Monday. This is right after 9 p.m., night after Monday. And the date was December 29th, 2025. December 29th, 2025. And this is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Last night, we're going to have a recap, not a recap, but we're going to add on. We're going to pick up from last night. Last night was Fight Fire with Truth. Excuse me. Last night was Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. We didn't have open conversation because we actually went into the seed, the spiritual seed of Abraham. The spiritual seed of Abraham, part 1 and 2. Tonight we'll be picking up from there and going into part 3 and 4. Well, not part, but just 3 and 4. 3 and 4, which is we're in part 3 right now, which is in part 1 of Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. So right now I'm gonna start off with a prayer. Good to see G1 back. He was here last night. Good to see him being back, and everybody else in Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and G1 is on Zoom. Good to see you here. Start off with a prayer. Then we're going to get into, instead of the spiritual seed of Abraham, we just going to call it tonight, spiritual seed of Abraham. All right. Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Excuse me. Excuse me. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help leading and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep your arm protection around us. Let us retain your knowledge, your word, and your ruach, and your way, that we may know and do your will and follow you and your will and your way. We ask you to help us in every way, and we ask you to forgive us, our ancestors, and our forefathers that have gone away from your knowledge, your word, and your wisdom. We ask you to forgive us and them, Father, and retain us, and let us retain your knowledge, your word, and your way. Forgive our trespasses against you, because we know for those to us and we that have trespassed against you, you have trespassed against us. We ask you to forgive us of these trespasses and help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father. All right. Now, as I was saying, tonight is spiritual seed of Abraham, right? And the spiritual seed of Abraham, which are not just the name of his sons, but the spiritual points of his sons. And the reason why I say spiritual is because we have to look at the spiritual aspects of the things that are happening and that's going on today. Whether this spiritual according to evil or spiritual according to knowledge and the wisdom of his word and his law. Mainly his word. Everything that the Creator speaks is going to happen, whether you accept it or not. Whether it's good for good or for evil, good or bad, however you want to say it, righteousness or evil. The whole thing is, if the Creator said it, he meant it. This is what people fail to realize. This is the reason why the world is the way it is today, because the Creator's word. The Creator said what was going to happen, what was going to end up happening, and what was going to be the benefit or what's going to be the situation because of either doing one or two things, either doing his will or not doing his will. That's what the Creator has given. That's what the Creator has said, but people choose to do what they want to do. So you have free will to make your own choice to do what it is you want to do. The Creator has stated in his laws and in everything that he has said what he wants to be done. And he gave us a blueprint or a map, which is the Bible and many other situations, but mainly the Bible is what he gave and put the history of Israel in there so it'll come back to our remembrance once we awaken in this day and time. So it's up to us to seek the knowledge and the information that the Creator has laid out for us if we're willing to do it. And no matter who has put it out, this is the problem that people have. People are too busy looking all over the world for something that's given to them right there, right dead center in front of their face. The Father has given the Bible, I don't care if the white man gave it, red man, Caucasian, alien, whoever. The words are still right there that he placed in order for us to know, do, and build on. But the people choose to pick and cherry pick what they want to believe according to what they want or what they've been taught. But the spirit of the word is right here in the Bible. And a lot of people talk about, well, this been taken out, that's been taken out. What you need is right there in the book. And this is what people fail to realize. Like to say thank you for those who are coming in on YouTube Live. Thank you for coming through. And those who are coming in on Instagram. But yet still, what I'm trying to get everybody to understand, the word of the Creator is righteous in all that it is, whether it's for the good or for the evil, for the good or for the bad. It's all righteous in the eyes of the Creator because the Creator said it. He gave you an ultimatum. So where people get this unconditional love from, that's man-made. Because unconditional, you have condition with the Creator. Either you're going to do his law and perish, or you're going to do his law and be saved. That's the bottom line. Well, a lot of people have their own choice of believing what they want to believe. We've been brought in this world to believe because we've been taught something. But once we get of a certain age, when we get around the age of our teens, we start researching, searching, and start really searching for the Creator. Because something we're missing, and we know it within our being. Y'all know it, I know it, and we all have been on the research, or shall I say, we've been on the look to research to try to find the Creator in whatever it is that we've come to know. So whatever it is that we've come to know the Creator at or in, it's our job to do the research, find out, and number one, ask the Creator to lead and guide us so we can know what it is that he will have us to do. The information is right here in prophecy, and this is what I share, prophecy. See, when you understand prophecy, you can see clearly what's going on. No matter what people try to do or try to make seem, they can't surpass the Creator when it comes to prophecy. So it's things that's still coming about in this day and time that is going to have to happen because it's said in the book. It said that these certain things are going to happen. Certain things has already happened, have came to pass, but it's certain things that haven't even happened yet that's still right here in the book. So these are things things that's happening right now. So I'm picking up from where I left off yesterday, but what I will do is give you a recap. This is the reason why I say this is why I'm calling this the spiritual seed of Abraham. Tonight is just going to be spiritual seed of Abraham. I had to take the off because I have enough to put into the caption for YouTube. So spiritual seed of Abraham tonight. Tonight is Mikhail's knowledge of truth. Last night was Fight Fire with Truth, which was open conversation. So right now we're starting tonight. So the recap is this, and I'm just going to give it to you verbatim. Let me break it down like this. If you go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 1 through 6, the Creator made a promise to Abram. His name wasn't Abraham at the time. I'm going to give you just a caption. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to give you captions so we can go ahead and get finished with the end of Esau and the beginning of Jacob, according to where we are today. So now, the key is Genesis 15 for Abram, which was changed to Abraham. Do this real quick. So we'll start off with the understanding, and we're not going to go through the whole thing. Just going to give you a little bit for a recap. Right here at Genesis 15:1, it says, the Creator, it says, Yah's promise to Abram, right? Yah's promise to Abram. It says, after these things, the word of Yah came to Abram, and it says right here, in verse 1 says, I am thy shield and thy exceedingly great reward. The Creator spoke to Abram right then. And he told Abram, he said, Abram asked what he gonna give to him, and he said, behold, Abram said didn't have a seed. And he said, behold, the word of Lord came unto him, saying, this is verse 4. This shall not be thy heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. And he said to him, so shall thy seed be. And he believed on the Creator, and, and the Creator counted to him for righteousness that he believed on him. So that was 1 through Genesis 15, 1 through 6. Then we didn't even get to 15 yet because that's coming. I mean, the rest of 15 yet because that's coming. But after that, this is where we went into chapter 16 about Hagar. Now, this is where Abram, when Sarai gave Hagar to Sarah, Sarah gave Hagar to Abraham to have a child. Now, she did that because she couldn't have her, she was barren. So Hagar had a child, well, actually she was pregnant. She got despised. She was despised of Sarah. She was despised of Sarah. She left, and then the angel told her to go back and be with and put herself under Sarai's at the time Sarai's hand, because she belonged to Sarai, or she was her handmaid, right? So verse 10 in chapter 16, it says, the angel said, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. So the seed that it was speaking of was Ishmael at this time. Still the seed of what? Abram. Man. Still the seed of Abram before he became Abraham. But if you notice, the angel was talking to Hagar, and just the same as it says in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, when the Creator is talking to the serpent, and he said, I will multiply thy seed and her, well, not multiply, I will put enmity between thy seed and her seed. As you can see in Genesis 16 and 10, it says, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. It's not talking about the seed of the woman, it's talking about the seed of the child that's with the woman. And if you notice today, most of the children are with the women and not with the men, which is prophecy. So by the children being with the woman and not with the men is prophesied, talking about the seed of Satan, which is I would say the feminine seed, and the seed of the system that's over the women, compared to the women that's with their husband or with their man and is obedient to their man and that's with their men. Those are the two different. The feminine compared to the feminine. The women who are feminine compared to the feminine, the ones who are out there. I'm just going to put it like that. All right? So many other words, but I can't think of them right now. So, but the point is, it says, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, talking about the seed of Ishmael, right? And it shall not be numbered for multitude. And also, it talks about what type of man that Ishmael is going to be in verse 12. It says, first it says in verse 11, it says that his name should be called Ishmael, and then because the Father have heard thy affliction. And in verse 12 it says, and he will be a wild man, his hand would be against every man, and every man against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren, right? Okay. That's that point. Then when you go to 17 and 20, 19 and 20, that is, in 19, it says, and Yah said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will, the key is, establish my covenant with him. He establishing the covenant with Isaac. But when we get down here to 20, it talks about Ishmael. The father's going to establish his covenant with Isaac for an everlasting covenant and with his seed after him. But with Ishmael, verse 20, and as for Ishmael, the father have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him. The father blessed Ishmael, which is a seed of Abram, right? Abram, who changed to Abraham. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. This is talking about Ishmael. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. A great nation. So Ishmael is the great nation of Abram. Name was changed to Abraham, right? Okay, that's Ishmael. But the key is verse 21. But my covenant will I establish again. Verse 21, 19, 20, and 21. 21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. The next following year, Sarah's to have a baby, and they're going to call his name Isaac. This, he established his covenant with Isaac. But still, Ishmael was still to be a great exceeding nation. So, but the nation wasn't supposed to be established with Ishmael, but he is supposed to be a great nation. This is why I say spiritual. I look at the Muslim or the Islamic way of life being Ishmael, spiritually, right? Now, I don't know how much on the law they keep or how much from the law they add to or what have you. I can't say that. All I know is that they are a nation that's supposed to really love the Creator, as far as we know. As far as we know. And really, I look at that really being a nation that love Prophet Muhammad. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's still a great nation, but they worship under Muhammad. You don't hear them talk about law. When they talk about law, they say Allah, all law. Excuse me. All law or Allah. So Allah is their, as far as I'm concerned, their person who they actually worship is the person, Prophet Muhammad. I heard a brother, not a brother, I heard a Muslim speaking, if they talk against Prophet Muhammad, this and that, they're going to kill him and all this and that. The Father never established anything with any man except his promise. His promise is his law and his spirituality. But people are worshiping the man. And this is the problem we have today. We're not supposed to worship Israel. We're supposed to worship the Creator and Creator only. Israel is just a vessel that brings the law. If Muhammad brought the law, why are they calling on Muhammad instead of calling on the Creator? Whether they say, well, they say Allah. I can't, that's their language, whatever it is, that's on them. But my point is, they say Allah, but their mindset is on their Prophet Muhammad. That's the problem I have. And to me, that's the problem according to his word. The Creator the first commandment is thou shalt have no other gods before me, or mainly, period. So any other deity or anything is another God. And that's your Prophet Muhammad. And that's what the Muslim world is doing. That's the reason why it's going to be established with Israel and the seed after him. But before we get to Israel, we had to get through the curse. So the establishment was through Isaac, which had two sons. Those two sons was Esau and Jacob, which is Jacob. Esau and Jacob. Esau is the world we're in today. And I shared that yesterday. And if y'all get time, y'all can go through part 1 and part 2. This is part 3. Part 1 of 3. Part 1 of part 3. This is 3 where we at right now. So I'm just giving you a recap of everything now. That was Ishmael, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, where the promise was established. And when it was established through the birth of Jacob, Esau and Jacob in 25, right here in 25. It was established here. I'm only going to give y'all a recap to get an understanding of where we're going to. Right here, when in Genesis 25, verse 21 through 28, it talks about the birth of Esau and Jacob. But your key, I'm giving you the key because I went through all this yesterday. You can go back and check the rest of it out. Your key is right here in 23, 24, and 25, right? And 26, 23 through 26. I'm just going to read that real quick. 23. And Yah said unto her, which is Rebekah, after she inquired why the children was struggling inside of her. And Yah said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. This is 2 keys right here. And one shall be stronger than the other people. One people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. You got 2 points right here in Genesis 27 and 40. It's going to give you both points, to give you both understanding. One being stronger, which I say is Esau, and they shall serve the other, which is we're going to be served. They're going to serve us, which is Israel. But let's keep it moving. One shall be stronger than the other. One people shall be stronger than the other people. If you notice, it said people. You see that? It said people. And the elder shall serve the younger. The elder going to serve the younger. And when her days were to be delivered was fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, 25 and 26. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, which is Jacob. All right. So that's the understanding of the 2 children that was born. But this was the establishment through Isaac. That means it was established of both those children, between those 2 children through Isaac. All right. So they was born at this time. Now the blessing was the key, which is in 27. 27, verse 28 and 29. But we'll start at 27. I'm going to give you the blessings real quick to have an understanding. And like I said, we always hear the first should be the last and last should be first. Now, the first one got their blessing is going to be last to be in charge. The last one that got their blessing, I don't like saying be less, blessing, they were the first to be in charge of the dominion of the earth, is what I'm saying, of the dominion of the earth. Now, how this happened? I'm going to give you that in a few moments. But the key is the first blessing is when the elder going to serve the younger, this is the blessing of Jacob, which they call Jacob, right here, verse 27, 28, and 29. And it states, Genesis 27, verse 27. And he came near and kissed him, which is Jacob came near to Isaac, and he kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which Yah has blessed. And that's our blessing, the earth, land, air, and water. Our blessing. Not talking about the system where we have today, where all this money, fiat, and everything else, where this is all going to. This is the separation as well. Actually, the separation of heaven and hell. Heaven is the earth and the substance of the earth. Hell is what everybody's going to when it comes to this fiat, this digital money that's coming, and also the mark or the things that's happening in the earth today that the way this earth is going into, people can't see. But here we go. Verse 28. The smell of the field which Yah has blessed. 28. Therefore Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine, which is from the earth. 29. This is for the remnant. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Spiritually, if you're keeping the law and you're doing good under the law, under the Creator's will, this will be for you. Individually and as a whole when you come together. But this isn't for all Israel, because all Israel is not going to turn to do the Creator's will. So the all Israel, or shall I say the rest, is going to be as the heathen. That's why I say this is spiritual. Now, that's Yaakov, which is going to come. Even though this happened to some of us in this day and time, because we have been blessed to be anointed, we have been blessed to keep the Creator's word and to be in favor of the Creator. We have been blessed on this point in this day and time as well. Why? Because we're keeping the Creator's word and we're studying His word to know His word. But for those who are outside of His word, is the curses and all other things going to happen to them. At least until they turn or until they perish. It's up to them. But now, let's go into 39 and 40 of Genesis 27. And it states, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Isaac said this to Esau. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven. That means he's going to get the fatness of the earth first, which he did. The fatness of the earth is the dominion. Excuse me, the dominion of the earth, far and wide, and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40 is your key to the stronger and who to serve. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. This is how he's taking over the earth. This is how Esau has become in charge and has taken over everywhere he goes. Esau. He's taking over everywhere he goes. He take it either by force, by the law that he puts up and put together, but this was his time until he's taken over. Now, he will stay in charge until you come out from amongst them. The only way to come out, the only way that I know, besides death, to come out in this day and time is to get out from under the Roman rule, which is what we're going to go through soon. When I'm going to show, yesterday I went over Revelation 13 to show you where the Roman rule is up to date. I'm not going to go through that tonight. I went through that yesterday in part 2. But tonight I'm just showing you a recap and giving you an understanding of everything and how we got to where we are today. So, but the key to 40 is this. By thy sword shalt thou live. By war shalt thou live. He lives by war. And you know that this earth is under, when it comes to Esau, or when it comes to that spiritual point, in Revelation chapter 6, verse 7 and 8, the pale horse. He's the pale horse. And I don't mean just an individual skin color. I'm talking about the spirit of everything in the earth. The spiritual aspect is what I'm talking about. Esau is the spiritual aspect of the pale horse. That's mainly it. Everywhere he goes is death, and hell follow him, hunger and everything else. It's all about death and destruction with Esau. The spirit of Esau. We're not looking at just the man itself, but the spirit within that man. That's what people got to look at. People so physical today, they can't understand the spiritual aspect of the situation that's happening. So, again, and by thy sword, which is by war, shalt thou live, and right here, that was being stronger, and shall serve thy brother. That is what's spoken of in Genesis chapter 25, verse 23, I believe it is. 25, verse 23. Yep. The elders, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger. You see that? That's what it's stating that first. By thy sword shall thou live, makes them stronger. Makes them stronger. And it makes them stronger, and shall serve thy brother. He's going to serve us in due time. But then it says, and it shall come to pass now, and it shall come to pass when thou have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. He has the dominion. He was under us at one time when Solomon was in charge. When Saul had Doeg kill all the priests of the Creator. He was an Edomite. And then Saul, David, Solomon, and all the kings was in charge until Jeremiah 25, verse 15 through 38. The sword is the Greek and the Roman Empire. That's the sword. So the sword is Esau, which is the Greek and the Roman Empire. Then from there, I took you to Jeremiah chapter 15, Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 15 through 38, to give you an understanding of the situation at hand and how things was going to happen through time from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. Then I took you to Revelations chapter 6, verse 7 and 8, showing you spiritually who the pale horse was, which is Esau. The spirit of Esau, that is. Because if you think about it, it's just not Esau that's going around doing stuff today. Anybody who joined themselves with the Greek and the Roman army, Roman Empire, they're the ones that's a part of that situation. When you join the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, you have just joined the army of the Roman Empire, which is the latter part of Greek, which is the latter part of Esau. The first part of Esau was the Greeks. Then they relinquished their power over to Rome. I shared that in Revelation 13. So now, from there, I didn't get to Jacob yet. The point is, I'm breaking everything down from Abram, to Ishmael, to Isaac, to Isaac's two sons, who I just shared with you, Jacob and Esau. Now, God just gave me turn right to it. But I'm gonna hold on to this real quick. The spiritual aspect, right? So now we went from there. Let me hold this. Definitely hold this. Just probably putting stuff right in my face just so I can share, because it's needed to be said as well, to show you the process, right? So from there, I took you to Revelations chapter 6, verse 7 to 8. Then we went to Revelations 12, verse 3 and 4. And then, which is the Greeks, the red dragon with the 7 heads is the 7 continents. The 7 continents is when the red dragon, which is Esau, which is the red and hairy man, has grown into a great nation and have had the dominion. And it doesn't mean just he had the dominion all by himself. When everybody joined themselves to him, like when you see 300, all these different nations with Xerxes, right? Well, I think his name was Xerxes, and Leonidas, that's what was his name, of the Spartans, 300 of them, they fought all those different nations. All those different nations was of the Medes and the Persians. Leonidas and them was of the Spartans, was the beginning of the Greeks. Then the Greeks came through, they end up taking over with Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Greek. Went around, they conquered. After Alexander the Greek and the Greeks took over, they relinquished their power over to Rome, the Roman Empire. Then you had Old Rome, which was of Caesar, gladiators, and everything of Old Rome. And in Old Rome is where Christianity came about. Christianity was born on the scale that it is today. Not saying it wasn't as Christianity before then. We're going on what we know on how it came to be in this day and time. Now, things may come, they may evolve, because we know people pick up from one thing, but we talk about in the expansion of what it is. That's what I'm talking about. All right? So Christianity came the way it came to be through the Roman Empire, the way it is today. Through through the Council of Nicaea, which had, when I was studying, it was 400 bishops, right? Now then it went down to 3 to 2 and so many, but when I was studying back years from the, it was 400 bishops, and it was another sect called the Arians. Both of them was fighting, and they was trying to, they was doing that concept upon the prophet that's supposed to came named Jesus, or that wasn't named Jesus, his name was Yeshua, but they changed his name to, they put the name Ilzus, the Babylonian god, and the Greek god, which is Ea and Zeus, combined those names, and then later on, which is in the second point of the Roman Empire, part two of the Roman Empire, that's where Jesus came about. But before then, it was just Christianity. And for 56 years, they was fighting, the Arians and the bishops was fighting to try to, and this is where the deadly wound was healed after 56 years. They eased the Arians out, and this is where Christianity came to be the main source for the Roman Empire, for Catholicism, the Catholic Church, the Roman Empire. Now, the church was of the Roman Empire, but the Roman Empire was to break off, and we're going to go into that. We didn't go into that yesterday, but we're going to go into that tonight. We're going to go into that in Daniel, talking about the prophecy of Revelation 13. I went into Revelation 13 to break down and share with you who Esau is spiritually and dominantly, because they have taken over, and it's all in the word of Yah. From Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 15 to 38, and then Revelations, which I call the revealing, Revelation 6, verse 7 to 8, and then you got Revelations 12, 3 and 4, which is the Greeks, and then you got the Romans, which is the beast, in the full book of 13, full book of chapter 13. So, still getting a better understanding as we go. So now, we're there. So after that, I end up taking it from there, from 13. And the Rome was, like I said, it was two parts. It was two parts of Rome, right? The two parts of Rome was Old Rome and New Rome. You got two legs, two iron legs, right? The iron. You got Old Rome and New Rome. Old Rome was of Caesar, New Rome was of Pope. Old Rome was when the Crusaders and everybody went around the earth making people accept Christianity. And that's when they was establishing the Roman Empire and establishing the Christianity, or let me just say, establishing the church. All right? The church, and then afterwards came church and state, which is what the world is under now. So, the church, oh boy, this is really tearing up my, the church, which is the Roman Empire. Excuse me. I ate earlier. I laid down, but I guess my food is still digesting. So I ate a couple of hours ago, laid down, so food is still digesting. So forgive me, y'all. But the point I'm getting at is that now we're at Revelations chapter 13, 1 through 10 is Old Rome. When it talks about the deadly wound was healed, that's Christianity. That's when they was coming together, putting everything together. Then when it was healed, that's when they got rid of the Arians, and this when Christianity came about to be the way it is. And also in Old Rome, they had the games. Just to let you understand, they had the games. They had the gladiators. We have the gladiators today. They're just not killing and murdering or doing what they're doing for sport. They're not killing for sport today. In New Rome, Old Rome, they had gladiators. They had gladiators out there fighting peasants or just fighting other people, prisoners, and also they had people like gladiators out there fighting animals and things like that, tigers, bears, lions, and things like that, right? So now those were the games at that time. Now in New Rome, which come to being starting in verse 11 through 18, this is New Rome with the two horns, like a young lamb, which is the United States. The two horns is the Democrat and a Republican, but spake as a lion or dragon. That means spoke with power. And then after that, it carried the same concept as old Rome, the first beast. Old Rome was the first beast. This new Rome now, the same concept, which is Christianity. Same thing, same concept. But now the difference is when it comes to the games, instead of out there fighting lions, tigers, bears, and prisoners, now they got teams against teams with their helmets. You got the Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Detroit Tigers, what other kind? You know, the Cincinnati Bengals, um, you know, all these different what they call them mascots. Same thing, but the people can't see because their mind don't go back to understand and study what's going on. So this is New Rome, same concept, different way of doing things, right? But now they have church and state. And then what does it tell you in 14 and 15? They made an image. Now they made an image to the beast. They made an image to Rome. This is your Jesus. And now the people have changed Jesus. They went from Isus, which you couldn't have a idol in the 1611 Bible. You don't have a physical image to Isus. But then Jesus, you have a physical, you have an image to it. Let me just say, you have an image to Jesus. Then they both made him speak. How they make him speak? The red words in the New Testament. That's how they made him speak. That's your Christianity, that's your gospel. I'm giving you understanding so you can have a better understanding of what the world has been deceived by. All right? So, you got aspects of that. Your daily wound that was healed is Christianity itself. Your image is Jesus. Jesus is your image. Your symbol is the cross. Your symbol of Christianity is the cross. And that's your world religion itself, which is Christianity itself, the Roman Empire. All this is concept of the beast worldwide. For those who have accepted that, or for those who have accepted and then have come out of it mentally. And when you come out of it mentally and start keeping the law, now you're becoming spiritual Israel once you start to keep the law. So this is just giving you understanding on that. Man, I sure hate that this right here. I got to put some tape on there. I keep saying it, but I got to do it. Let's put this down like this. Excuse me, y'all. One of my pages has really got a little bit tore in it. I'm taking time with it. All right. So now all this is Esau that I'm sharing with you. Now we're getting ready to move into Yaakov. Yaakov, which is Jacob. We're ready to move into Jacob to have an understanding of the last dominion that's going to be given unto him. So before we get all the way into Yaakov, let's end up, left from Deuteronomy, I'm sorry, Revelation 13. Revelation 13. I went to Obadiah yesterday. Obadiah, and I shared. Now let me go ahead and pick up right there from where I left off in Obadiah. In Obadiah. Let's get over here real quick. Let's start up from there. We're going to go into Obadiah to talk about the ending of Esau. Hold on one moment, everyone. I did give y'all a little bit of Obadiah yesterday. Hold on. Back One moment. Here we go, right here. Obadiah. Now, Edom's fate. What we're going to do is, since it's only there's 21 verses. Let me go on through Obadiah to get some understanding here real quick. We're going to go to Obadiah, and then we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 14 to give you the understanding of Esau and his purpose and what he did and what his thoughts was before we go into Jacob, Yaakov. But we'll go from here first. Before there, I'm going to go what's needed. Daniel chapter 2 first. Then we'll go there. We hit that late. We hit that last. Daniel chapter 2. This was the beginning and the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had according to the Greek and Roman Empire, but the dream from him being the head of gold all the way down to the feet of iron and clay. All right. But we'll just start over here at 32. It says, this image's head was of fine gold. This is Daniel chapter 2 and 31. We'll start at 31. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, and say his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image from image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them in pieces. That's everything in a nutshell. That's everything in a nutshell. 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken in pieces together, and became like the shaft of the summer threshing floor. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain. The stone was the law. The stone not was, but is the law. The stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. The stone is the law. Where that law come from? Moses, that came down from the mountain with the finger written of Yah, the creator, and Moses brought it to the people of Israel. That's going to carry that law throughout the earth, right? And that's everything in a nutshell. I could just go ahead and read everything on down, but that's mainly everything in a nutshell, just to save time. But as we can see, you can read verse 36 on through, but verse 31 through 35 is your key. 31 through 35 is your key. Might as well just, okay. 31 through 35 is your key. All right. Let me see. I can hold that. I'll come back to that. But 31 through 35 is your key for the whole situation. But now we'll go back to Obadiah real quick, because we're going with the end of Esau. Then we're going to pick up with Yaakov and where he's at. But I just gave you everything in a nutshell. Verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus said Yah, concerning Edom, which is Esau. I like to say the spirit of Esau, but this is a vision still. We have heard a rumor from Yah, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, talking about us. Thou art greatly despised, that's talking about Israel. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high. Now this is them, Esau. That said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, the Creator's talking about them, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, Thence will I bring thee down, saith Yah. See that? The Creator speaking. This is the Creator speaking. Verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they have had enough? If the grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some grapes? 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the stuff that he do, they're searched out and they're sought up. That means that we find out all the stuff they're doing. This 3IA Atlas or 3I Atlas, y'all don't know if that's real or not. And y'all don't know if it's propaganda or not. Everybody's taking it and sucking it up just like the World Trade Centers. If y'all still think that anybody outside this country did it, y'all crazy. Because that was done by this country. That was done by the president and those people in hand to go ahead and do what they decided to do. But they make it look like somebody else did. And if y'all don't know, if y'all haven't looked up loose change or zeitgeist and checked out the information, something is wrong with you. But let's keep it moving. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. You see that? There ain't no understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith Yah, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? And that happens all the time. The ones who think they're wise. Hold on. I said not that day. It's verse 8. Shall I in that day, saith Yah, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, which there's no understanding in them? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. By the mount of Esau, mount by his kingdom. That means all that is a part of his kingdom. This is what I mean by spiritual, y'all. A lot of people looking at, oh, okay, I have to step on that. No, you right there with them. You ain't getting nowhere. All the stuff you done did, you right there with them. Judah's misfortune. This is our misfortune. Verse 10. What for them may cut off by the slaughter. Judah's misfortune, verse 10. Obadiah 10. Verse 10, that is. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates. You see that, into our gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Remember this right here? Joel chapter 3, verse 3, 5, and 6, I believe. 3, 5, 6, and 7. And foreigners enter into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. Even thou was as one of them. You see that? They saying those people that did that to us, you're just like they was, because of the things you did. Verse 12. But thou should have not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day of that he became a stranger. Neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. You see that? Neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. See that? See how many people do? 13. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. 14. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. So you shouldn't have messed with them. Shouldn't have allowed them to do and leave or do whatever they had to do. But you cut them off. You sold them to the enemies. Excuse me. Verse 15, Edom's fate. For the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen. You see that? This is not talking about one particular person. This is talking about anybody that's a heathen. You are of Esau if you are heathen. For the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. What that Revelations chapter 9 and 10 states. All the stuff that y'all done is going to be turned back on you. Those killed with the sword, you're going to be killed with the sword. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. This be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. You see that? That time coming. That time is coming. Israel's ultimate triumph. Here we go. Verse 17. Our ultimate triumph. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. You see that? The house of Jacob, which is Israel. We're going to possess. That's why I said the wealthy of the wicked is going to lay it up for the righteous. 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. 18 again. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yah has spoken it. Now, the house of Esau is heathens. I'm not speaking for or against anything. I'm speaking according to what I'm seeing spiritually. A lot of people don't understand spiritual matters. But spiritually, this is where I'm coming from, according to the word. 19. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plains of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. 20. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yah's. That's the key. We just got to read that in Daniel chapter 2, right? Right here in Daniel chapter 2 again. It says in verse 31 through 35 again. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them in pieces. It started at the bottom. Why it started at the bottom? Because this is where we're at. It started at the feet. We are the clay, the system is the iron. And no, we are the stone. Let me put it like that. Those who are spiritual are the stone. Now, the clay is more like the Moors, the ones who are just all about law, and they're not spiritually in tune. Let me put it like that. The ones who are spiritually in tune, they are the rock, breaking everything down according to the law, the real law, not legalese, but the law. Upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. 35. Then was the iron and clay and the brass, the silver, and the gold broken in pieces together, and became like the shaft of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, and no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain. That's Israel, because we are the stone. We are the ones who carry the law. We are the stone. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. That's your Exodus chapter 19, verse 5 and 6. That's us right there. And everyone, I don't care what nation, nationality, tongue, or people you are, once you start keeping the law, you become Israel. You're not Esau anymore. See, right now it's only one or two things. You got good and bad. You got Esau. You got Jacob and Esau, or Israel and Esau. You got either one of the two. And Jacob is the one that's titter-tiring in between. They don't know. They still waking up. He's gonna wake up and stay on the bad side, evil side, or they're gonna wake up and become spiritual and keep the law. Excuse me. So now let's get to one more thing I wanted to share with Isaiah. I think I shared it last night, but I'll go over it again. Isaiah 14. The ending and the situation. I just shared Obadiah. I'm going to hear it one more time. 14 of Isaiah. 12 through 20. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, still Esau, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, Esau? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. This is the spirit through those people. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yah. I will set also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I still say North Country, North America, where everything is. This is where the second Roman Empire started at. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. You see that? 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, which is the earth, which is hell, which is Sheol, the grave. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that had a spirit in him? Is this the man Esau, that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those. That remind me of Revelation, when it talks about coming out the bottomless pit, the beast coming out of the bottomless pit, I believe it is. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, and go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. 20. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. All right. So we're going to leave it right there for that. That's the end of Esau. Now we got to start understanding where Jacob's point is at. And where Jacob spiritually is, we're going to go to Hosea. We're going to Hosea first to get an understanding. Something that was spoken of in the New Testament, but was spoken of here first. Hosea 6. Hosea chapter 6. Now, this is Israel. Now we're going to get on to Israel, where we are coming into. This is the seed. This is the seeds, the spiritual seeds of Abraham. And this right here, showing where Esau just had the dominion. Esau is falling out of power. Now, this is where Israel, in the time of all the time everything was going on, that it was to be raised, right? Israel was to be raised. But first, let's get a prophecy before we go there to show the understanding to that. Now we're going to get a prophecy to Israel. I still didn't go into Daniel 6 and 7 for the ending of Esau, or the prophecy 7 and 8 of what they did in their time. Let me go ahead and break this down while I can at this point. So I wanted that to be a part of it so people could see and understand when the time comes. Still part of Esau before we go into Jacob, Yaakov. All right. We're going to go to Daniel chapter 7, verse, I like to say, we'll start at 21 down to 27. Here we go. Now 21. I beheld, and the same horn power made war with the saints and prevailed against them. The same horn, which is Esau, the power, made war against the saints, which is Israel, and prevailed against them. 22. Until the Ancient of Days came. That's the Spirit. The Spirit of Yah is the Ancient of Days. That Spirit of Yah, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, the Ancient of Days. We are in that time now. This is what I'm going to start bringing. This is what I'm going to bring out in Hosea in a few minutes, chapter 6. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. You see that? That's the Ancient of Days. This is where we are now. This at this point. But now we're going to get back. See, that was just a snippet of a small snippet of, and I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. That's one. And this is two, until the Ancient of Days came. That's until the Spirit of the Creator came unto us. And judgment was given to the saints, and that's Israel of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. That's a snippet, quick, fast, and hurry. Now, 23. Let's jump back to the beast now. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom, which is Esau's kingdom, which is the Roman Empire, upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth again, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces, as I always share. The continents, the seven heads is the seven continents, and in the continents you have countries. In the country you have city and states, and in those city and states you have rural areas, you have counties, and you have districts. Whether you have those or not, you have one or the other. And then you have neighborhoods, you have towns, neighborhoods, and then you have blocks, streets, all the way down to your home, all the way down to your home. And not only that, all the way down to your home, even when you're coming out the womb, they put a number, a name and a number on you. So that's all the way down. Tread it down and break it in pieces. Verse 24. And the reason I say that, because you can send mail anywhere across the world and it's going to make it there. The Roman Empire. 24. And say, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. And another shall, see, the 10 kings shall arise. and another shall arise after them. All right. Another, so that's 10 kingdoms, and another kingdom shall rise after them, and that's the kingdom of today. That's the kingdom of the Pope. That's the that is the that was the 10 kings at that time. That was the rulership of the Roman Empire. Then and then you had Caesar. Now the other king, another shall rise after him, which is the Pope. That kingdom, still both of them the Roman Empire. And he shall be diverse, different from the first king or kingdom. This is going to be different, which is Revelation 13, 1 through 10 is the first kingdom. 11 through 18 is the second kingdom, which is the 2 legs of iron, the 2 feet of iron and clay. 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, Christianity, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, as which they did. And like it said up here, behold, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. That's where we at right here in 25. That's 21 and 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time, Greek, and times, Roman, and the dividing of time to 400 years, from my understanding. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. Who is they? The saints are going to take away his dominion, which is the beast, to consume and to destroy it until the end. Now 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom, and the greatness, of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints, the Israelites, everybody who's starting to keep the law, unto the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Who is him? The Creator, the Almighty, through the law. And when you get to 8, when you break down to 8, 8 and 23, right? 23. And in the latter time, see, the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are to come to the fore. This is Israel. We transgress the law. The transgressors are come to the fore. A king of fierce countenance and understanding dark senses shall stand up. This is the kingdom of today that we're in. Then the dark sentences is the things that we are going through the court systems. This is the kingdom that we're in now. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, because it's the power of the Creator. Excuse me, not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully. He's going to destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people. That is what has happened to us as a people. That's why we don't know our land, our language, our heritage, nor our culture. But we've been made byword, proverbs, and bywords by all different people. And through his policy, through whose policy? The policy of this system, church and state. And through his policy, also he shall cause craftiness to prosper in his hand, and which is the Roman government system. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. How many times this country always talking about them? They come in peace. They come in peace. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes. That's us. Once we start to come back into our way of life by keeping the law and becoming anointed, being the Lord, the Creator's anointed, doing his word and his will. But he shall be broken without hand. The system is going to be broken. We ain't going to use this, doing what I'm doing right now. Pen and paper, and standing on the law. 26. And the vision of the evening and the morning, which was told, is true. The evening and the morning is a day. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. It means it's going to be in time to come. We are in that day right now for those who choose to be in it and a part of it. All right. Now we'll go to Hosea to understand Israel. See, all that right there was of the all part of Esau at this point. Yesterday we did Abram, to understand that all this is the blessing of still Abram. Everything that's going on is from Abraham's seed, through Abraham's seed, which was Ishmael. Through Isaac is the two that we're talking about right now. Esau, which got his blessing last, but got the dominion first. And now we're going into Jacob, which is Jacob, who got his blessing first, but we're coming into the dominion last. So now, Hosea chapter 6, verse 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, and 3. But the key is 2. Hosea, it says, come and let us return unto Yah. Now this is us turning back. But before we go here, let's get to understanding why we're in the position we're in before we even get there. Get to understanding why we're in our position. Genesis 15. Genesis 15, we start at verse 12. Hey, baby. You sleep good? Thank you. My baby brought me some tea. All right. Now we're going to get to the understanding of the reason why we're going through what we're going through. All right. It's 2 points that I'm going to give you. But let me see where we at right now. We're an hour and 16 minutes in. I'm getting ready to give you understanding the reason why we're going through what we're going through at this point in time. Getting hot. Okay. Now see, first things first. We got to remember, this is first. This is first because we haven't even got to Deuteronomy yet. But this right here is this is the first thing because this is what we told to Abram after he gave him the promise about the seed. So the father, as I always share, the father see everything. He's seen everything from the beginning to the end. He's seen everything in Genesis 1 through 5. He's seen everything. I keep sharing it with people. Some people, hey, I just share what I was going to do. It's up to y'all to hear it, accept it, or reject it. So, the prophecy of Israel's bondage. Now we're going to pick back up from Genesis 15, verse 7. And we're going to break this down right quick before we go into part 4. Now, the prophecy of Israel's bondage. And he said unto him, this is starting at verse 7. We did 6 up to 6 before, but now we're going to go, and because the Creator he held 5 and 6. We do hit 5 and 6, and we're going to go into 7. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. This is Genesis 15, verse 5, going into 6. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. And he 6, and he believed in Yah, and he counted it to him for righteousness, right? He counted it to Abram for righteousness because he believed in what the Creator said. Now, the prophecy of Israel's bondage, verse 7. And he said unto him, I am Yah that brought thee out of the land of Ur, out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give thee, shall I say, this land to inherit it. That land where they were at. And he said, Yah, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? How shall I know I inherit it? And he said unto him, take ye, now he's going to do a ritual to show how he's going to get it. Not how, but to let him know how he's going to have it. And he said, take unto him, take me a heifer of 3 years old, a sheep and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove and a young pigeon. Verse 10. And he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. He didn't divide the birds. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. So remember that he had to do all this, cutting them up and stuff like that, draining them and cutting them up. that took a process of time. So this was in the morning. This was in the morning when he had the vision as the sun was rising. And he saw the stars as the sun was rising. And then all this situation happened. And then the creator was talking to him. So this is when he started to do this ritual, as in the she-goat, the lamb, and the heifer, the ram. The heifer, the she-goat, and the ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst and laid each piece one against another, but the birds divided he not. So that took a process of time. And what it says right here, and when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. Now you got to understand verse 12 is something that people don't realize. And when the sun was going down, a lot of people think this is late in the evening. No, this is beginning of the evening, which is at 12 noon, as the sun starts to go down at this point. Now, when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And when you see that, if you go to Isaiah chapter 60, to understand where we at in this day and time. Isaiah 60, 1, 2, and 3, actually 1 through 5, but 1, 2, and 3 is the key of where we at this point. Isaiah 60 and 1 states this. It states, the future glory of Zion. This is one that says, arise, shine. And when it says rise, shine, it's talking to rise of certain people, which was us in this day and time, which was in the 50s and 60s. 50s and 60s, or in the time of our bondage. It says, arise, shine, for thy light is come. The bondage is about 400 years, excuse me. God say, let me get some luck on you, shine. Remember, they used to call this different bywords at the time. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yah is risen upon thee. The spirit of the Creator is risen upon us. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, which is in the dark ages, and also when everything has been changed under the Roman rule. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yah shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And then what happens? Verse 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. See that? So right here in Genesis 15, when it says, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. The great darkness was was upon the earth, and the horror of great darkness was upon the people. Now, 13. And he said unto Abram, know for a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. This is what we've been through from 1619 to 2019. This is what we've been through. 1619 to 2019, we've been afflicted for 400 years. Then 14 says, and also that nation, what nation? The Roman Empire, which is the spiritual aspect of Esau. Esau is the ones who have been afflicting us. And also the nation whom they shall serve will I judge. The Creator judged the Roman Empire in 2020. 2020 was the judgment, and this was the coronavirus. Whether man did it or the Creator did it, it's still of the Creator. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterwards, see, the judgment is going on not only during the coronavirus and also with the jab. That's still, all that is judgment. For those who choose to follow the Creator and those who don't choose to follow him. Then it says, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. What's the substance? Land, water, cattle, homes, all kind of stuff besides what we think is the digital era. Gold, silver, jewels, things like that, things that are tangible with great substance. 15. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. He's telling him right there, you should go in your fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. That's the prophecy. The last shall be first, the first shall be last. That's the prophecy that happened last. That happened first, that's going to happen last, that's happening now. But was the prophecy of what happened that he's telling last happened first, which is coming right here. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again. This is when they came into Egypt at that time, back at the time when Jacob, when Joseph was in Egypt and he was king, might as well say, under Pharaoh. He was the man under Pharaoh. This is from that time right here at verse 16. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down, now when the sun went down, compared was in verse 12, it said when the sun was going down. Now, in all this time, and it came to pass after this time that when the sun went down and it was dark, now it's dark. You got to understand the difference. Behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between both those pieces. Now, I don't know how that happened or the way it happened, but we see that two different things happen. Two separate things. A smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. Now, the Father's covenant with Abram. This is covenant right here again. In the same day, which is covenant, which he started off with. In the same day, Yah made a covenant with Abram, saying unto thy seed, have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Now, this right here is the promise he gave him from 1 through 6. From 1 through 6 is verse 18 is speaking about. In the same day, Yah made a covenant with Abram, saying unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. The Kenites and the Kenzites and the Kedmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Gerishites and the Jebusites. He gave him that land. That's land he gave him. But that's the two prophecies for Jacob. Now, why do we go through this situation? Why do we go through this situation? It's because number one is Exodus 24. I'm going to pause this real quick. Then we're going to start off in part 4. This is the end of part 3, which is actually part 1. And this is the spiritual seed of Abraham. Let me rephrase that. The spiritual seeds of Abraham. We went through the information about Abraham through Ishmael, through Isaac, through Esau. Now we're at Jacob. All right. So this is the spiritual seeds of Abraham. And just to let you know, to share with you that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. Other than that, I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Right now, let's see who all joined us over here on Instagram. On Instagram, we had Bernard66. He came through for a moment. Breaking Community joined for a moment, and Malcolm Bowles came through. Like, glad we seen you here. That came through for the moment. And also, we had a few people come in through YouTube. I'm sorry, Facebook. No, this is YouTube Live. This is YouTube. Tori Berries. Hi, how you doing? Kenny Incarnation. I think that's it. Kenny Incarnation. Hi, how you doing? Are you okay? Yes, I'm great. I'm great. Um, the Bax fan too. What brand of vacuum do you have? I don't know where you get that from. Okay. What have you? I don't know what you're talking about vacuum. But other than that, don't like nobody in Facebook. Yeah, okay. We had Burger Yali Christopher was watching for a moment. I don't know if you're still there, Burger. But just to let everybody know, if you don't do your research, you're only going by what you're told. It's up to you to do your research to find out what you need to know. So again, just share with you again that if I didn't say it, I'll say it this time. I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. If this was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. Just wanted to share that with you. Excuse me. Just want to let everyone know. Mm, excuse me. Just want to let everyone know that if you'd like to get in contact with me and if you'd like to learn more about the introduction to solving class of knowledge, you're welcome to text me your name, number, and email. Just let me know you'd like to know more information about the solving class of knowledge. And this will help you free yourself from the satanic system. And this is private. Just let it be known it's private. So, if you'd like no more information, welcome to text me at text and or call me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. Or you can email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Usually I go through the formalities of sharing everybody with my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Oh man, all of a sudden sneeze is coming out. But all that would be in my post. You go into my post, check out the information, name, number, email, Facebook, YouTube, all that would be in there. You're welcome to check it out. And go from there. They'll be either in the post or they'll be posted in the links. So other than that, instead of taking the time of sharing all that, it's in the post that I can check out the info. Other than that, pause for a minute. Mm. This winter, this snow came out of nowhere today. When I say out of nowhere, dropped my wife off at work, came back home, laid down, wake up, snow was everywhere. So other than that, we're gonna pause Zoom. We'll be right back, as we say bye to everybody else, and we'll be right back. Zoom, be right back. Love you, preach love you in always. Peace. All right, all right, all right, all right. Greetings, 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 or shall I say shalom, shalom, shalom. Greetings, everyone, family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing this beautiful night? This is the night after December 29th, 2025. The night after the day of December 29th, 2025. And this is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. This is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. And tonight we're speaking on the spiritual seeds of Abraham. The spiritual seeds of Abraham. Of Abram or Abraham. So we know that Abraham, as I shared in part one, part two, which yesterday, which is with Fight Fire with Truth, and Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. We started with Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac. And we ended with the beginning of Esau, sharing information of Esau on the beginning of that. We ended with that in part one and which I said in one and two of the spiritual seed of Abraham, which is under or with By Fire with Truth. Tonight, we're here under Mikael's Knowledge of Truth with 3 and 4. This is part 2 of 3 and 4. This is actually part 4, or actually 4 part 1 and part 2 for Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. So this is part 2 we're in right now. And this is actually number 4 compared to the seed of Abraham, the spiritual seed of Abraham. All right, just to give you an understanding. So this is being part 4. We just got through sharing information on the ending of the spiritual aspect of Esau, which is actually the more of the evil in the earth. And the evil of Esau is in the earth because of his blessing. He shall rule by war. Esau shall rule by war. And when it said the elder shall serve the younger, the elder got his blessing last, which he was first to come in place to have the dominion of the earth. The dominion of the earth, when it speaks on the earth, the first should be last and last should be first. The first one that got their blessing is the last one that get the dominion of the earth, which is Jacob or Jacob. The first one, or should I say the last one that got their blessing is the first one to get their dominion over the earth, which is Esau, which is the spirit of both. The spirit of both. The spirit of Esau and the spirit of Jacob. And both of them is under the law of Yah. Both of them is under the Creator's law. And as I shared with you in part 1, part 2, part 3, and now we're in part 4. You know, this is part 2 of Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, but this is part 4 of the spiritual seed of Abraham. Seeds of Abraham. We're in Jacob now. So just before we left in part 1, I shared Esau's fate, the fate of the spirit of Esau, which is in all those who are with Esau. And also, I shared the beginning of the prophecy of Israel through Genesis chapter 15, verse 7 through the end of the rest of the, through the end of 15, giving an understanding to the 2 prophecies of Israel. The first one that was spoken first happened last is what's happening unto us now. But the second prophecy, what happened first is when they went into the land in the 4th generation, and they was there in servitude under that time until they came out, and then was brought to the land by Moses. So a lot of people don't understand that. But the more you read and study, the more you understand how the Creator has set things up. So this is where we are now. So by us being here right now, let me do this time. Where's my... Right? All right. We get ready to go in here and look at some more information to have understanding according to prophecy. There's a lot of things coming out today about other things that has been said and shared Well, we have many different stories about things that happen, but I know that from what I went through spiritually and come to know according to the book and what I shared with the Creator, that He brought me to the truth. Until I find out, until the Creator bring me to any other truth further than what I know, I share what I know. Not what I believe, but what I know. So this is what I'm doing. And Mary, good to see you over there on YouTube. I will read your information when I'm done. But right now we're in Exodus, as I was sharing, in the last part of part one. We're in part two right now. As I was sharing in the last part of I see, please, 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 Maya. All right. Good to see you there. Um, as I was sharing in Exodus, in Genesis chapter 15, I shared about the prophecy of Israel going through what they're going through. Then I went to Isaiah 60 and 1, 2, and 3 to show you about the darkness shall cover the earth and gross darkness the people, which is what happened to us as a people. And now we're going into the reason why we're in the position we're in right now. And if you go to Exodus chapter 24, this was the blood covenant that the Creator made with Israel. The blood covenant. You'll find this in chapter 24, and we'll start at verse, let's read it from 1 and on down, 1 through 8. This was the promise. Everybody has taken something in the New Testament, and this is where the things has been twisted. And I shared with you Esau and what they did. So now we're going with the promise, the true promise of what was said to Israel and what Israel was supposed to keep, and they broke the promise. So now we're going to the information that if you have ears to hear. Exodus chapter 24, verse 1. And he said unto Moses, the Creator said unto Moses, come up unto Yah, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near to Yah, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. Verse 3. This is a key. 3, 6, and 7. 3, 7, and 8 is your keys at this point. Verse 3. And Moses came and told the people all the words of Yah, the Creator, and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice. This right here is an oath. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which Yah has said will we do. That was an oath. That was number one. That was an oath that they gave to the Creator out there with Moses. Verse 4. And Moses wrote all the words of Yah and rose up early in the morning. So he wrote everything down. He wrote all the words of Yah and rose up in the morning and builded an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 5. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yah. Verse 6. And Moses took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. 7 and 8 is your key verses. Verse 7. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, this is the confirmation of the oath. The oath was in verse 3, but the confirmation is in verse 7. And they said, all that Yah has said will we do and be obedient. That was an oath from the Creator to them and from them to the Creator, the Almighty. Verse 8 is this spiritual anointing. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant. This was the blood sacrifice. Behold, the blood of the covenant, which Yah hath made with you concerning all these words. This was the covenant that the Creator made with the children and the people, children of Israel in the Mount Sinai at the time. This was the blood covenant. This right here was the covenant that the Creator made with the people. And this is the reason why he said, Israel, only you have I known. He have known no other nation, because Israel was close to him. And this was the blessing that he did. He brought them out from Egypt. In the wilderness is when he made this promise with them, and they made the promise back to the Creator. Believe it or not, I'm giving you scripture. This is the reason why we've been going through the hell we've been going through. This is our reason, right? But the Creator already seen it. That's why in the last of part 1 of verse 3 a few minutes ago, I just shared in Genesis chapter 15, verse 12 through 14, it talks about us being in bondage or in servitude for 400 years. This is the reason why we went through this, because our people fell from the law and then didn't keep the law, right? So, again, verse 8, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people. This was in the blood anointing. Behold, the blood of the covenant, which Yah has made with you concerning all these words. That was an oath that we made with the Creator, and that was the reason why we fell off from the Creator. That was the reason why. Now, that was the reason why. And what happened when we fell off? Deuteronomy chapter 28 is our key. Is our key to turn or to stay away. Deuteronomy 28. 28. I'm just gonna give you a few of the verses. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. I'm gonna give you the blessings for understanding. Deuteronomy 28 and 1 says, the blessing of obedience. See, obedience to the law. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yah thy Father, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yah thy Father will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. You see that? This is the Creator's word. When he make an oath, when he say something, he hold to what he say. Verse 2, and all these blessings shall come up on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yah thy Father. If you're listening to the voice, which is his word, these things will happen for you. Verse 3, blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. Blessed shall thou be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. All these things the Creator said he's going to do. Verse 5, blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. 6, blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. 7, Yah shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. You can read the rest of that down to 14. That's the blessing of the Creator. I don't like saying be less, that's the blessing. But here go the curses. 15, the consequences of disobedience. Verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yah thy Father. So that right there goes to show you that there is no such thing as an unconditional love. You have conditions. This is a condition on if you do or if you don't choose to do. There's a condition. So I don't know where you get that unconditional from. These people talk stuff they don't know, and they give you a false tale of life. The consequences of disobedience. Verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yah thy Father, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. 16, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. That's going on today. The food you're eating is cursed, because it's not real food. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. 20. Yah shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And from this point through until the 68th verse is cursed. This is the point where people need to realize. All the stuff that's been going through with us as a people, we've been cursed. A lot of people may take that curse and may think the curse is a blessing, not realizing it's a curse. And you go, and the more deeper you go, the more deeper you're going to see. There's so many people that are so deep in the curse right now, they don't even realize what the blessing is. But hey, it's what the Creator allowed us to see what the blessing, and let us see what the curses is. All right? So now let's go into the understanding of us coming out of the situation that we are in. Now we'll go to Hosea chapter 6 to understand what happened to it. We already see what happened in Isaiah 60 when it says, "Arise, shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of Yah should be seen upon us." Then it said, "For darkness shall cover the earth, and darkness and gross darkness the people." That's where we at today. But to have an understanding of that is what happened. And this is how we are coming back to the Creator. This right here is Hosea chapter 6, verse 1, 2, and 3. But it's still up to you. This is why it's called the spiritual seeds of Abraham. Israel replied to Yah's admonishment. Israel's reply to the Creator's admonishment. "Come, let us return unto Yah, for he has torn and he will heal us." You see that? This is what has happened to us as a people. But now we're saying, come, let us return. We fell off. But now, come, let us return unto the Father, Almighty Yah, for he has torn and he will heal us. He has smitten and he will bind us up. And how you going to do it? According to you keeping his laws, his ways, and his statutes, which is spiritual. After 2 days, 2,000 years, will he revive us. In the third day, he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. In the third day, in the 3,000 year, we're starting to arise, right? Then shall we know if we follow on to know the Yah. You see that? Verse 3. Then shall we know if we follow on to know Yah. You got to know the Father by doing his word. A lot of people choose to live in wickedness, which is Christianity. If we follow to know on to know Yah, his going forth is prepared as the morning, and he shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and former rain unto the earth. Rain is just like it's coming down. It's for those who choose it and who choose to stand in it and get it. That's the spirit. The former and the latter rain is the spirit that's coming, that's awakening those who choose to search the Creator and keep and do his law. So I usually go to the New Testament and show when it talks about, what's that, 32? That Matthew, I usually have that marked off. Hold on one moment. That's 27. Not 27. 24. Hold on one moment. It was 21, 23. But I had these babies down packed. Mm. Where was I at when I had that? Hadn't put that baby down. I went through that several times. Sorry, y'all. I wasn't even planning on going here, but I wanted to share this point when he said about the third day. This came across night. Many that are first shall be last, and last shall be first. Well, that's 19 and 30, but that's not what I'm talking about. Was it 12? Was it chapter 12? I don't know. I don't remember exactly where it was. I've been in this New Testament that much like I used to. I used to know where everything is. I used to know where all I've gotten away from the New Testament after really studying the law and the prophets. Okay. I think this is it right here. Chapter 12. When the unclean spirit is going out of a man and walketh through, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. The Holy Spirit shall not begin. Okay. Wherefore I say unto you, now this is 12 and 31. Wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men, but the blasphemy against the Holy Spirit shall not be forgiven unto men. And whosoever speaketh a word against the Son of Man, it shall be given him. But whosoever speaketh against the Holy Spirit, it said Holy Ghost, but Holy Spirit, it shall not be forgiven him. Neither in this world, neither in the world to come. That's not what I'm talking about, neither. Nor this, and they enter in and dwell therein. Mm-mm. I wasn't even planning on going here, y'all, so but this just caught my mind. It caught my mind. Now, I never knew you, the straight gate. Mm. Well, must not be meant for me to find that right off before perfect. I said you love it. And I haven't ran right, I haven't even used it. I run right up on it if I'm looking for it. And I can't remember. I don't know if it was here or was it in Luke. But I'm not going to keep looking for it because that wasn't where I was at. But when he talked about, when he was speaking on, if you tear this temple down, I'll raise it the third day. That's what I was on. If you tear this temple down, I'll raise it the third day. And what was meant by that point, talking about the third day, it's talking about, it's not the actual temple, it's talking about us as a people. The temple that we're speaking of, see, the Pharisees and Sadducees thought that he was talking about the actual temple that was built by the people. But that wasn't what he was talking about. And the people in Christianity, they would think they think that it's talking about in Christianity, they think it's talking about his body. But it wasn't talking about that neither. It wasn't talking about that neither. What Temple he's talking about is talking about us as a people awakening in this day and time. But a lot of people would not get that. I cannot find it at the moment. But I'm gonna have to keep moving on because time waits for no man. I was looking for it as I was writing. I thought, knowing me, I usually come up on it while I'm searching, but now I don't know where actually where it was, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Not gonna worry about it. Mm-mm. But be on my mind like this is usually mm, mm-hmm. Well, I guess I'm just gonna leave it alone at the moment. But I just explained it to you. I just explained it. If you tear this body down, if you tear this temple down, I'll raise it the third day. And they thinking, and wasn't. Mm, it was talking about that was the spirit speaking. If the spirit was speaking through the body, talk about the spirit was going to raise the third day, and I just read it in Hosea 6. Hosea 6. 1, 2, and 3. I just gave you the understanding to that. So what we're gonna do is I ain't gonna keep looking for it. Even though usually I'm surprised I didn't even write it down to connect the two. Because usually I do that, but I didn't. So we're where we are. So like I was saying, what happened is after 2 days will he revive us, talking about the creator. In the third day he will raise us up and we shall live in his sight. Now, what I will do is this. I would take you to Revelations 11 to give you the understanding to that. Revelations 11 to give you the understanding to what I just read. And it talks about the two witnesses. The two witnesses is Israel and Judah. And I'm going to give you the understanding to that in a few moments. Now, chapter 11, it talks about, we'll start at verse 1, but it starts, I believe, starts in verse 3. Verse 2 of that is. But in Revelation 11 and 1 says the two witnesses. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of Yah, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not. For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 and 2 months. Okay, there's a certain point in time. Now, verse 3. This is the two witnesses, and this is us. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, which is Israel and Judah, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before Yah, before the creator of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceed out of their mouth. That means that whatever they speak is going to happen. It's going to come like fire, whatever they speak. And devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. If anybody hurt them, they're going to be killed. 6. These have power to shut up heaven. Did not Elijah do that? Have power to shut up heaven and that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over water to turn them into blood. Did not Moses do that? Right? I think Moses did that, and it happened once or maybe twice in history. And to smote the earth with all plagues and after as they will. Elijah, Elisha, Moses, and many other prophets did different situations, right? Verse 7. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit, this is your Roman Empire. This, well, I remember I said earlier, I said this reminds me of the beast that came out of the bottomless pit. This is the Roman Empire. This is the Greek and the Romans. Shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. This is what we was just speaking of about Esau and what Esau has done. We spoke it in Daniel chapter 7. We spoke about it in Daniel chapter 8. We spoke about it 7, 8, and it was other, was it in Revelations 13. We spoke about the beast that came out the bottomless pit. Shall overcome them and kill them, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Isn't that what the United States is called? Matter of fact, the United States, you can say the Vatican, but mostly United States. Spiritually, it's called modern day Egypt and Sodom. This is where what did Obama put in order? Same-sex marriage. Right here. This right here at the spot. Spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord is crucified. And when you say also our Lord, that's the saints. That's us. A lot of us being crucified over here, being hung, Ku Klux Klan, and all the other stuff. That has happened to us. You have to see it for what it is. 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. You see, that's where I was getting the 3 days and a half at. Now, it also said it the third day, but 3 days and a half. 3 days is what, the 3,000 years? The half is the 400 years. You got 3 parts to a decade. 1, 2, and 3 is the first half of the decade. 4, 5, and 6, 400, 500, 600 is the middle. It's the middle half, and is a part of it. And 7, 8, and 9 is the last part. So we're in the first half. We're in the half of it. It says that 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another. All these other nations does that when they come over to our neighborhoods and get paid off us, right? And shall send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets, Israel and Judah, or Judah and Israel, tormented them that dwell on the earth. Because we were telling everybody to keep the law. But everybody wanted to do what they wanted to do. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life of Yah entered into them. That's us. The valley of dry bones, that's us as a people. The spirit is coming into us and awakening in this day and time. This is spiritual, the spiritual seed of Abram through Israel and Judah. And they stood upon their feet. A great fear fell upon them which saw them, which is all the other people. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Isn't that what I'm telling y'all right now? Speaking through heaven. Start keeping the law. That's what I'm doing right now, speaking to you through heaven. Come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, not an actual cloud, but in the mind. And their enemies beheld them, because we start keeping the law. And the same hour, which is in a certain time, was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake there were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were frightened, and gave glory unto the Yah of heaven. The rest of them was frightened. Now they starting to give glory to the Creator. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. Now, let me go ahead on to 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdom of the world are become, and the kingdoms of the world are become the kingdoms of our Yah, reign forever and ever. You see that? Now people are beginning to hear and do the Creator's word. And the 24 elders which sat before Yah on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped Yah. 24 elders, I believe, not saying I know, is the 12 children of Ishmael and the 12 tribes of Jacob. 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 tribes of Ishmael. 12 tribes of Ishmael, the 12 tribes of Israel. Saying, we give thee thanks, O Yah Almighty. This is verse 17. Saying, we give thee, 17 of Revelations 11. Saying, we give thee thanks, O Yah Almighty, which are and was and are to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned. See that? And the nations, verse 18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroyeth the earth. You see that right there? Who destroyed the earth? Esau. Esau destroyed the earth. Still, the Creator allowed them to do what they decide they want to do. The Creator don't give everybody free will. You decide to do it, you don't get punished for it. You decide to do good, you don't get praise, or you don't get rewarded for it. 19, the last verse. And the temple of Yah was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. All right? You see that? Now, this happened at a certain time. All this stuff happened simultaneously, but at different times. We're reading it in chapters, but it's not going the way we're looking at it according to the chapters with understanding. All right? Oh, boy. Yep. All right. Now, there you go. That's Revelations 11 that we just read. And the understanding was in Hosea chapter 6, verse 3. That gave you understanding what we just read as well. So, let's keep it moving. Now that we read that, to have the understanding that this is Israel. Oh, let me now, like I said, the spiritual component. This is our spiritual Israel, right? So now let's move from there to Ezekiel. Chapter 37 and then 36. Ezekiel 37 and then 36. We got something to show y'all. Man, my baby is tearing up. Man, this baby. Ooh. I got pages coming out, y'all. Ezekiel 37 first. This is the valley of dry bones where we're at this day and time. Excuse me, y'all. Ezekiel 37, 1 through 14 is our key. Well, we have to understand we are the dry bones. This is Israel. We're the dry bones. The valley of dry bones, Ezekiel 37 and 1. All right. The hand of Yah was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of Yah. This is Ezekiel 37, the middle of 1. Spirit of Yah, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. Verse 2. And cursed and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. Right? And he said unto me, the Creator said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? Asked Ezekiel, can these bones live? And I answered, O Yah, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones. Now, if you notice, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? He asked a question. But what did Ezekiel say? And I answered, Oh Yah, thou know. He said, Oh, you know it. He don't think he know everything. He quick to ask a question. Thou knowest. 4. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear ye the word of Yah. 5. Thus saith Yah, speaking in his name, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. You see that? Okay, number 6. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yah. Now, let me share something with y'all. You see this part right here? I cut my finger earlier this year. It's still mending. I still feel pain in it. Now, I had surgery on it. And I still feel pain, even though I can be in that part, but I can't. You see it there? I can't do that because that it is whatever the tendon, and I still feel it, but I you see I barely move at right here. So, but hey, it is what it is. Same thing happened here, but I didn't do nothing. This right here, some fell on this in 2015. It fell and smashed it. It was like that for a day. Next thing you know, it was like this and been like this ever since. So, but this right here, I actually had surgery on because I actually cut it, trying to cut through some wire. And because I didn't listen to my spirit said, put a glove on. I was like, well, I can go ahead and do this real quick. Cut across it, cut. Should have listened to my spirit. My spirit tried to warn me, but that was on me. And I have to be honest about it. That was on me. I should have listened to my spirit. My spirit was it was like just, I'll go ahead and do this real quick. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy doing what I was doing. So you got to take time, slow down. When the spirit speaks, pay attention. So again, verse 7 now. It's verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded. And the reason why I said that is because it takes time to heal, and that's what's going on with this information. This is time consuming, whether y'all understand that or not. Everything that's going on is timing. Verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Time, you know what I'm saying? It's shaking, and the bones start coming together. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above. But there was no breath in them. That still took time. Even though it happened, we got to understand the time for all this stuff to really start to come together. Then said he unto me, prophecy unto the wind, prophecy, son of man, prophecy to the wind, and say unto the wind, thus saith Yah, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. This is us as a people. This is what's going on today. This is spiritual Israel coming from the dead, and we're starting to awaken. We're starting to arise. 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceedingly great army. This is when we stood on our feet. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, this is what we say. Behold, they say, our bones are dry and our hope is lost. we are cut off of our parts. That's what our people been saying. They even said that to me when I was in Atlanta sharing information on the train. People really thought that. I said, we just got to turn back to the Creator. Verse 12. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith Yah, behold, O my people, I will open your graves. He will open your minds, y'all. I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves. What we just read in Revelations 11. We just read in Revelations 11. And bring you into the land of Israel. 13. And ye shall know that I am Yah when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. Brought you up out of your grave, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Wherever you was born, you have an inheritance there, whether you know that or not. Then shall ye know that I, Yah, have spoken it and performed it, saith Yah. If he said it, he spoke it and he performed it. But let's see how it came to pass. Let's go to 36. That's going to come together. That's coming together now, but this is happening while that's coming together. This is the formation of that happening. This is the formation of the situation happening. Right here in now, a new heart and a new spirit. Right here in Ezekiel 36, starting at verse 16. We looked at the body of dry bone. That's the scenario of what we're about to read now. And here we go. A new heart and a new spirit. Moreover, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, this is Israel now. We're on Israel. Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. This is the reason why we went through the hell we've been going through. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman, when a woman come on her cycle. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. People still in idols today. The idol is AI today. And the system is telling you, well, put your AI down and pick it back up, or put your Google down and pick up AI and just get into it. That's your idol. 19. And I scattered them among the heathen. You see that? And I scattered them among the heathen, that's all over the earth, and they were dispersed throughout the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. A lot of people don't know they went to jail. The Creator judged you for whatever reason he judged you for. A lot of people went to jail for whatever reason. A lot of people I went across seas thinking I'm going through it. I didn't want to leave my children, but I had to because of the situation I was going through. But that was for me to go through what I went through to be where I am today. 20. And when they enter into the heathen, unto the heathen, whether they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, these are the people of Yah, and are gone forth out of his land. That was us. That's what I thought. Even the woman that I was with, I thought she was of the Creator. I didn't know. I was ignorant, you know. But I had pity for my holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whether they went. 22. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith Yah, in his name, thus saith Yah, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake. He's doing it because of his word, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whether ye went. 23. Now this is what I went through. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned among the midst of them, meaning the people who don't keep the Creator's law. And the heathen shall know that I am Yah, saith Yah, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. In you before, and that happened with me when I went down screaming. That happened to me. 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. I'm back in my own land where I was born at. I'm back where I started, right? A lot of that has happened with a lot of people that I knew that was in Atlanta. They end up going back to where they home, I mean, wherever they was from, they end up going back to their homeland. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. And that was what happened. And that, believe me, that happened to me. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. The Craig said he's going to do that. All throughout the book, he's been telling you he's going to do that. But this is mostly Pacific. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. 27. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. When you start to study the law, you got no different from what I'm doing right now. You're going to start to study the law and do his will. 28. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, which is the world, the dominion. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your Yah. Now, I'm going to stop it right there. And the reason I'm stopping it there is for you to understand. Wherever you were born at, the whole world is his dominion. He gave us the dominion. And how do I know? I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to take you to Exodus chapter 19, verse 5 and 6. Exodus 19, verse 5 and 6 states, Now, therefore, if ye will obey, this is your key, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. See, we are the Melchizedek. Everybody looking for one man. The Father has made us the Melchizedek over the earth. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. See what I'm saying? This is what we're supposed to speak to each other. And this is how we're supposed to stand under the Creator. So when we get to this point, we will understand Jeremiah 31 with the confirmation, 31 through 37. Jeremiah 31, verse 31 through 37. So, right here, the new covenant. We just read the first covenant, the blood covenant, earlier in Exodus chapter 24, verse 1 through 8. Your key verses 3, 7, and 8. But now we're at the new covenant. This is the new covenant, not New Testimony, which is the New Testament. The New Testament is the second testimony, which is the curse. You have four. You have the blessings and the cursings, the first covenant and the second covenant, the new covenant, the old covenant and the new covenant. Excuse me. First testimony is the law. I just gave it to you in Deuteronomy 28. 1 through 14 in Deuteronomy 28 is the blessings. Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68 is the curses. That's the two testimonies, the blessing and the curses. Now you got the two covenants. The two covenants is Exodus chapter 24, verse 1 through 8, which is the blood covenant. The second covenant is the spiritual covenant, what we're about to read right now. All right? And we're going to go there from 1 to 37. The key is 1 through 35, 34, 35, 36, and 37 is your confirmation, your proof. All right? Jeremiah 31, verse 31, the new covenant. Behold, the days come, saith Yah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Those are the two witnesses, Israel and Judah. 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yah. That was that was Exodus 24, verse 1 through 8. That was the covenant. 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yah, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their father, and they shall be my people. That is the new covenant. And we just read the new covenant in Ezekiel chapter 36, 16 through 38, 16 through 28, shall I say. 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them. Saith Yah, for I will forgive their iniquity and will remember their sin no more. Why? Because you can't sin when you know the law. You can't sin. You ain't gonna sin. 35. Thus saith Yah, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yah of hosts is his name. This is a confirmation. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yah, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation from before me forever. We're still a nation. We just don't know who we are. It's just like you see a bunch of ants. You may not give them a name, but they're still a group of ants. So we're still around each other. We may not know who we are, but we know we're going through the same situation. 37 and last verse. Thus saith Yah, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yah. The earth is too vast for anybody to search it out. You got these Muslims saying, oh, the sun and this and that, this and that. This. Man, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all just talking. Y'all going by what you think. Because you think it ain't going to add up to what the Creator has already said. So, what I'm going to do at this point, I just gave you everything except one last thing. I'm going to give you the understanding to the spiritual point of becoming, of one point of becoming Israel. I'm going to share with you what I went through, all right? Chapter 30, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1, right? We're going to take it on down. I'm going to tell you what I went through, and many of you may have went through, and if you haven't, you may go through it, all right? Verse 1, the word came to Jeremiah from Yah, saying, Thus speaketh Yah of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come. You got to understand the days come. It's prophecy. Saith Yah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. See that? He's going to bring us back to him. Saith Yah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. They're going to possess the land where they're located from. And these are the words that Yah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith Yah, we have heard the voice of trembling. This is what I went through. Remember I told you I went through something? In Ezekiel 36, I think that was verse 22. For thus saith Yah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore doeth I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces turned into paleness. I went through this. I'm telling you what I know and what I've been through. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. See, that's when we're going to go through a certain situation. Jacob is dead, Israel, but we are awakening to be Israel. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yah of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. You're going to break the enemy's yoke from off our neck. And will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. That's, I don't get, listen, this is where we at right now. This is where I'm at. And if you choose to be awakened and come out of the bondage that you're in, this is talking about you too, unless you like being where you are. Verse 9, but they shall serve Yah their father, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. A lot of people think it's it's the spirit of David. It's the spirit of David in those who the Creator put in charge. You got to understand that. The Creator put people in charge, so it's the spirit of David keeping the Creator's word. Not saying we don't have flaws, which just hit me. David had a flaw. He murdered somebody one time. When he put a man, but he was a Hittite and whatnot. Not but, the whole point, the man was righteous, but still he murdered the man. The father dealt with him on that. So David wasn't all righteous, but he didn't have no flaws, what I'm trying to say. David had flaws as well. So the whole point is, we shall be saved, what it says, I will break the yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of us. But they shall serve Yah their father, and David their king, whom I will raise upon unto them, which is people like David, he going to raise up, and people going to follow them. See what I'm saying? Because they're still the seed of David. So people going to follow people like they followed David, a king, right? Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yah, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. You ain't gonna be afraid no more. I'm there, from the understanding of what I have, what the Creator have blessed me with. For I am with thee, saith Yah, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee. That means he's not going to make a full end of us. But I will correct thee in measure, which he will and have done, and is going to do for those who has done certain things out of character and out of the law. I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. This is what this brother need to understand. Nobody can do all the law. You can't do all the law. But what the Creator just said. Whether I have scattered thee, I will not make a full end of thee. But I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So, this brother be telling me, fear God. When you say fear Yah and depart from evil. How you gonna do it if you don't know the law? You ain't even teaching them to keep the law. You don't even say keep the law no more. You just said fear God and depart from evil. You can't do all the law. What the Creator just said? But I will correct thee in measure. You got to learn in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith Yah, thy bruise is incurable, thy wound is grievous. That means the stuff you doing is out of character. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine. All thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. See that? Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable, for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Because your sins was increased, he did certain things to you. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivities. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yah, because they call thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. You see that? The Father loves us. Thus saith Yah, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be built up and the city shall be built it upon her own heap, and palaces shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgivings and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. That right there tells you what the crazy thing gonna do. But also, this mainly gives you the understanding of what he's going to do to his chosen when they go through this situation. From 1 through 10. From 1 through 10. He's telling you what he's going to do, but your key is verse 5 through 7. Ask ye now whether a man doeth travel with child. Wherefore do I see a man with his hands on his loins? I went through that. Now, what actually goes with that is Isaiah 9, 5 through 7. Isaiah 9, 5 through 7 goes with what we just read. This is the seed of Israel, the spiritual seed of Israel. 5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. I went through that. And garments rolled in blood, spiritually that is. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. That's what happened in my midsection when I felt like I was in travail. Verse 6, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, which is the Spirit. The Spirit going to be upon us, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Father, God, Yah, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. That's the Spirit that's going to be upon us. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. This is what we're going to be doing. Once you come into the law, once you become spiritual Israel, whether you're Israel or Judah, it's still of the same through the same bloodline of Jacob. Remember, it's going to be established through his covenant going to be established through Isaac. But you had two. You had Esau and Jacob. Esau was of the curse. The establishment is through Israel. This is where we at. This is where we are. It's up to you to grow and to know from this point on. So, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of Yah of hosts will perform this. And this is where we are today. So, this is the end of the spiritual seed of Abram or Abraham. And to understand the spiritual seed of Abraham was through Ishmael, Isaac, which is two, which is Esau and Jacob. Esau was for the evil. Jacob is for the righteous. It all depends on where you stand. The whole world is under those two. Ishmael is on the side, and he became a great nation. He became established as a great nation. Ishmael did. He's the Muslim nation of today that's doing what they think that has been taught to them according to their religion, according to what they think the law is. But as we can see, Israel is going to be the founder and the last point of everything under the law. So it all depends on where you stand and where you want to stand. I gave you majority of everything within part 1 and part 2, which is under which is under Fight Fire with Truth, Open Conversation, which was yesterday, and 3 and 4, which is tonight, which is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Gave you the understanding, the breakdown for those who want it, through scripture and through prophecy. And through facts of what's happening today. Other than that, I could just kept going on and showing you that I was at Mikael, but I'm not talking about me, which is Israel. I can just go through this and give you the understanding of where we at on that point. Since we're here, I mentioned it, my mind is taking me there, I will give you the understanding to it. See, everything we just read, this is the ending point of all of it. Now we'll just go to Daniel 12 and Revelations 12. The understanding, Revelations 12 first, and then Daniel 12. Excuse me. Daniel 12 and 7, and it states, and there was war in heaven. This is going on right now. For all those who choose to start understanding where we're at, according to everything that was shared. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon is the Greek and the Roman Empire. And fought and his angels and prevailed not. And the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven, where we're going through right now at this point in time. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. The great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. All of them are the same thing. All of them are the same. Satan, the devil, the dragon, Rome, Esau, all of them is the spirit of Esau, which I shared with you that he goes out by war. When it says by war, it didn't say by war, it says by thy sword shall thou live. But see, we're not living by the sword. We're not. Our sword is this right here. That's why he's the stronger. But this right here and this right here. That's how we're going to be. And as it goes, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. I still say the AI Atlas or the AI whatever they call it. I don't know if it's out there or not. They could be just fooling everybody just to throw everybody off. We don't know what's going on with what. They've been saying the world was round for so long when the world is really flat with many of continents and then more land. There's so much stuff going on that the world has been deceived. But what it says right here in 9, that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. Everybody that's for the Roman Empire, when the time comes, they all gonna be cast out. They're all gonna be revealed for who they are and what they are doing. The judges, the officers, the prosecutors, the lawyers, all the stuff that they're doing, they're gonna be revealed. whether y'all know it or not. Then it says the blood of the lamb. I have to break this down real quick, but this is part of everything as well. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength. This is what we're going to be going through. Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our Father, Yah, as I shared with you at the end of 12, at the end of 11, and where we at right now. Now is come the salvation and strength and the kingdom of our Father, Yah, and the power of his anointed. It said power of his Christ, which is Christ only means anoint, anointed, or anointing. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which is the system, which accuses them before our Yah day and night. And they do that every time they get up and they swear and they do the stuff they're accused. That's not lawful. But the people don't know. That's why I'm trying to get you to understand. Come, get in your office and understand who you are and where you're supposed to stand. But that's up to you. 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. The blood of the Lamb is the spirit of the Creator among us. Oh, how you get that? Revelations 5, verse 5 and 6. I'll try to go over it, but I hate to say it without going over, but I'm going over it real quick because we are already in. But this is the last bit anyway. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. That's us. The blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. My testimony is what I speak according to the law. But Revelations 5, verse 5 and 6. Let me get this for you. Got to break it down. Might as well get it to you. Got to let it be known for people to have an understanding because a lot of them don't. But here we go. Taking this to Genesis 49. There we go. Got to be plain. Got to make it plain. Okay. The lion and the lamb. Verse 5. Genesis, Revelations 5, 5 and 6 is the key verses. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah, which is the lion, is the tribe of Judah. The lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. Now, let's go back over and see who the lion is. Genesis 49, verse 8 through 12, but the key is 10, but we're going to read from 8 to 10 real quick. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. See that? Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. 9. Genesis 49 and 9. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, thou art going up. He stoopeth down, he crouches as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall arouse him? 10 is your key verse. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. This is who it's talking about right there. Judah is the one who stands up. That's why David is one who holds the scepter. David, the spirit of David is upon Judah. Judah is the one who holds the scepter. What does he do with the scepter? You anoint those, or what they say, not anoint, but when they call them, they dub their servants. So these are the ones, Judah is the one going to wake up Israel. If the Creator don't do it according to his spirit, Judah going to do it like I'm doing it right now. Believe it or not. Got to know the word to understand it. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh, which is the spirit, come. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Until the spirit is what we just read in Ezekiel 36, Ezekiel 36, Jeremiah 31, 31 through 37, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1 through 10, and also Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5 through 7. This is Shiloh. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So this right here is chapter Revelations 5, 5, 5 and 6 actually. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, 5 and 5. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. Verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, and it had been slain. This is Israel and Judah as a people. Us as we have been slain. We've been dead. We just read it in Ezekiel 37. Have been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes. But the key is this, which are the 7 spirits of Yah sent forth into all the earth. That's Judah and Israel. We were sent forth to all the earth. We have the 7 horns and the 7 eyes. That's us. Which are the 7 spirits of Yah sent through all the earth within us, because we was anointed. Back to 12. 12 and 11 again. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, which is us, and by the word of our testimony, and they love not their life. Who is they that love not their life to the death? That's the other people that's going to be out there, because you see a semicolon there. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. That's us that's living in heaven, because we've overcome Satan and their world. But what happens over here? Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, those who choose to stay in servitude, and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, the system is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right. So that's the key for Revelations 12. Now let's go to Daniel 12. Daniel 12. Go ahead, Daniel, real quick. Even though I had it, I let it go. Daniel 12, 1, 2, and 3 is your key. All right. Daniel 12, 1. The time of the end. And at that time shall Michael, which is myself, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book of life, I believe. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, that sleep in the mind, we just got to reading about that. When did we read about it? Hosea 6, 1, 2, and 3. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Right? And how do we know that this is going to happen? Let's go over here to Daniel chapter 7, verse 17 and 18. In a nutshell. Before we hit 17 and 18, let's hit 21 and 22 again, and then 17 and 18 for understanding. 21. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. That is the horn, which is the power of the Roman Empire, Greek and Roman Empire. 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, which is the Spirit of Yah that came upon us. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possess the kingdom. This is where we're heading, this is where we're beginning, and this is where we are. Now, 17 and 18. These great beasts which are for kings, which is for kingdoms. This is Daniel 7, verse 17 and 18. These great beasts which are for kingdoms, which shall arise out of the earth. Babylon, Medes and the Persians, the Greek, and then the Roman Empire. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Let's hit that one more time for clarity and understanding. for clarity and understanding. One more time. Right here. One more time. These great beasts which are four, this is Daniel 7, 17 and 18. These great beasts which are four kings, which stands and means four kingdoms, which shall arise out of the earth. 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. What kingdom? The kingdom of this earth, the dominion of the earth. And how you get that understanding to that? Again, Exodus 19, verse 5 and 6. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine. You see that? For all the earth is the Creator's. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And with that, I digress. This is the spiritual seeds with an S of Abraham. And again, also, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. I appreciate love you all, and we get ready to call it a night. And we get ready to do the benediction, and then we're going to do the Shema. And after that, I will tell you how to get in contact with me, and all the rest of the information will be in the post. Each one of the posts that you choose to check out and connect with me if you like. Other than that, this is the benediction out of Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and Yah will bless them. His name is the law, and he's going to bless us within the law by keeping the law, by the same thing that we've been sharing tonight and last night. Other than that, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekebo, Vakuto Violam, Vaed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Praise you Almighty for all you've done, been doing, the plan to do. We ask you and we thank you for all you brought us to, all you brought us through, and where we are in this day and time, and where we're going. We bless you, thank you, and praise you for all you've done, been doing, the plan to do. We ask you to let us retain your knowledge and grow us in your knowledge and lead and guide us that we may come to the knowledge and what it is you will have us to do to grow this earth into the fruition and doing your will. In your Holy Spirit and all things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Praise you Almighty. Thanks God. Now, if anybody like to get in contact with me at any time, especially if you'd like to connect with us for our introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge, you're welcome to call or text me at 770-572-5315. 770 572-5315. And you can always email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Excuse me. At gmail.com. Other than that, if you like to get in contact, or would like to say, my YouTube is JuicePro33, all one word, JuicePro33. That's my YouTube. That's the same thing with my Instagram. My Instagram, or should I say not my Instagram, my YouTube and my X, formerly known as Twitter, is JuicePro33. You can see either one of the shorts or the fulls on those. You can see my my Instagram, and one of my TikToks is L'chaim_the juice. Instagram and my TikTok is L'chaim_the juice, which is LKHYYM_THEJUICE. L'chaim and TikTok. Or should I say my Instagram and one of my TikToks is that. Also, my Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. That's my Facebook, MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. Also, my Rumble and my Patreon.com/LKHYYM. Rumble.com, Patreon.com/LKHYYM at the end after the slash. I have another, excuse me, I have another TikTok and another YouTube under Michael the Juice Harris. Another TikTok and a YouTube under Michael the Juice Harris altogether. There's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. That's a TikTok and my another YouTube at those right there. And also for my Zoom, they'll be in the post. All my Zooms for night after Sunday, night after Monday, Tuesday mornings and Tuesday nights, the night of Tuesday morning, or Tuesday mornings, 7:30 a.m., and the night after Tuesday at 9 p.m. And then also on the Sabbath day at 12 p.m., all of them Eastern. You can connect with me on Zoom. Everything will be in the post. Y'all catch me from there. Other than that, I thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. We're going to say bye to Zoom first so we can get you loaded up, because we got to be right back in the morning at 7:30. Thank y'all for your time, your patience, listening ear, seeing eye. Love you, appreciate of you, and always. Peace.